Welcome in, everyone, for Week 4 Simulation Football League action. Today's matchup, we have the Seattle Tyrants coming to visit the Florida Storm here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm Stephen Hacker, your play-by-play analyst, along with Ryan Caudill, who's going to do color. We have a full stat truck today with Tom Rahman, Rochelle Colston, and John Bond down there. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Ryan for today's key points for this matchup.
Thank you, Steven. This is going to be a great game today between Seattle and Florida. Both of these teams had great showings last season. They both went to the playoffs, and they both come out to a slow start. Both of them 18 points allowed for Seattle, 15 for Florida. Both of those are in the lower half of the league. 29 points allowed and 20 on Atlanta as well. So it should be an interesting match. Both these teams coming in on the back foot, and they're looking to make a big statement this game.
Yeah, both teams struggling early in the season. Today's win for either team could be a huge tone setter for the rest of the way. Down in midfield, the coin toss. Seattle's going to defend. Wind isn't much of a factor here today, just a slight breeze. It's 74 degrees today in Fort Lauderdale. Ball is on the tee. Florida's wearing the red tops, red pants with the white helmet. And Seattle's going to be in the all-white kit. Hand is in the air, ball is on the tee, kick is away. Start this ball game off, fielded at about the 10-yard line. Brought out to the left side, penalty flags down. Turn got to about the 27-yard line from Nick Castle. R62 indicating that clipping is the call. And the Storm will accept, so move the Tyrants back. And that's where we're going to get our first look at quarterback Jacques Luandula and the Seattle Tyrants offense.
That penalty there on the kickoff did not really help them out. They're going to need all the help they can get with their passing offense. Not doing so great, but on the ball, everything is smooth sailing so far. That's where they'll look so far.
Luandula alone in the shotgun. Tyrants showing a pass here on first down. Starting from the their own 14-yard line, thrown over the center, and the pass is caught. Junior, senior, the third's going to have the first down.
Junior, senior just came across the middle on a slant, getting a quick first down, and they're actually starting to throw the ball here early on. We'll see if that continues on the second first down.
Luandula under center, changing the play. Sandlin was offset the lone back. An out route, looked like a flood concept, is completed and gets maybe 3 more yards as Junior, senior, the third. Second catch today.
Yeah, Junior, senior getting the ball twice in a row so far. He could be a key to this game. He was big for them last season, got 888 yards and 90 receptions, and he can make a big impact on this game as we've seen in the past.
I formation for the Tyrants. A handoff to Sandlin, his first carry. He plows forward, and he's going to pick up about 5.
Yeah, that's what Sandlin does best, just running the ball up the middle and able to just get some solid yardage. He averages 5.2 yards per carry last season, and he is doing great so far.
A 3rd and 2. I formation twins to the left side for Luandula. Takes a 5-step drop. Plenty of time to throw. It throws to the right side. Oh, the coverage is there, and it's intercepted. And a chance to go for pick 6. Florida Storm opens the gates. And it was Ryan Davidson who took it to the house and gives his team a 6-0 lead.
Well, that was very unexpected. Ryan Davidson just jumping the route here, makes a great play. His first interception of the year, first pick 6 of the year. And Luyendula throws his 7th interception of the season. And this is just a great play to get Atlanta on top, or Florida rather, on top early.
Yeah, 3rd and short, and it's great when your defense can step up like that, and turn the ball over, and not only that, give your team some points in the process. Explosive play by Florida. Extra point now is up and good. So a 7-0 lead after the dynamite play. And Seattle's going to have another chance now. They were moving the ball fairly well. That miss looked like just a missed throw by Luyendula, and it just those happen. As a quarterback, you have to get over that and move on. And now that the Tyrants have a shot right now, they get the ball back. They got to forget what just happened and move down the field and try to get points.
Yeah, that's right. Just a weird misplay. The first 3 plays, they were moving smoothly, and it just looked like some poor judgment from Luyendula there. And he'll get another chance here, get his offense going, and try to tie this game now.
Returner Nick Castle gets this one out to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Tyrants are going to get their second shot. Let's take a moment. Let's introduce this Tyrants offense, led by quarterback number 11 Jacques Luyendula, running back number 32 Zach Sandlin, wide receivers Mason Kirby Jr., Senior the third, and Nick Castle. First down, Sandlin plows forward and gets 2, and also tight end Tristan Carr, number 84. On the other side of the ball, the Florida Storm defensive ends Alex Dominguez and Alessandro Tomello, linebackers Nicholas Warner and Frank Champion, corners Ryan Davidson and Evan Carroll, safeties Ryan Tobin, Jeff Melanishin, and Andrew Francis. 2nd and 9, single back, 3 wide receivers, handoff to Sandlin, plows to the left side, gets nothing. Good work in the middle by the Storm.
Florida Storm defense making a good stop there. 2 stops in a row of Zach Sandlin, which is pretty rare, not very easy either, and they're gonna have to make a stop here on third and long, try to get the ball back.
4 wide receivers, single back. Luyendula drops back, pressure brought by the Storm. Luyendula drops out to the left side, throws it out of bounds, avoids the pressure, but elects to throw the ball away, and it'll be 4th and 9, so expect to see the punt team out now.
Now that was the Florida defensive line all the way that entire drive making stops, and they forced some pressure on Luyendula, forcing him to throw it away, and now we'll see the Florida offense come onto the field for the first time here.
And you got a quick look at the Florida return man, Robert Merrill. A little bit of a Swiss Army knife. He's played a bunch of positions, can do a lot of things. Just get him the ball, and he's a dangerous tool. A little bit of a hesitation, gets about 7 yards on the return out to the 41-yard line.
It's a good first move that he made there. Not able to bring it back, but Merrill, he's been here for a long time, 7 seasons with the Storm, and they do like to use him everywhere, and he knows this league very well, and he knows how to play it.
First and 10 from the 41. Ron Cochran's in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Pressure up the middle, but Cochran gets rid of it. And it's complete for 9 yards to E.J. Minson, the tight end.
Yeah, that's the rookie tight end making the catch. He's already had 2 touchdowns on the year. That's the most that's the only amount of touchdowns on the Florida offense. So he looks to make a big impact on this team.
Second one, a handoff to Doyle, who's going to plow forward and get the first down. Slyn Shady's there to make the tackle.
Slyn Shady is an up-and-coming great linebacker on Seattle. Even though Florida did get the first down, Slyn Shady has been no stranger to getting tackles. He is 5th in the league with 36 total tackles, and he's making a great impact on his first season with Seattle. Second season.
Near midfield, Cochran throws to the left side. It's caught before he goes out of bounds. Optimus Klein on the reception.
Just a nice little out route here and get the ball moving. Just get the positive yardage. Try to get as close to the first down as you can. And that's kind of what this offense likes to do. They like to play a little bit of the small ball, like to just move the chains a little bit. We're not going to see anything probably super explosive, which is it's great to see, but we won't see it very often. It's more about methodically running the ball down the field and getting some points.
2nd and 3 for the home team. Cochran in the split back shotgun. Takes a shot down the left side. That one's caught. First down to the 14-yard line. Optimus Klein beats Iverson Gamble on the coverage and moves the chain, gets his team down in the SFL red zone.
And just as I say, they don't like to go for big explosive plays. Optimus Klein proves me wrong. Just look at how fast he is, beating his man, getting out to the middle and getting them into the red zone. Florida Storm offense looks great this week.
Yeah, let's take a look and highlight this Florida Storm offense real quick, led by quarterback Ron Cochran, halfback Connor Weston, fullback J.W. Doyle, wide receivers Stephen Bush, Robert Merrill, and Optimus Klein, as well as tight end E.J. Minson. Cochran throws an out route to the right side, and going out of bounds is Stephen Bush as he gets 6 yards.
That was his first catch of the day. Just getting some good positive yardage there. Just a nice quick pass. And it looked like it almost got intercepted by Seattle. The corner tried to jump the route there. Almost got a takeaway. It would have been a pick six.
From the 8-yard line, Cochran under center. I formation with 3 wide receivers. Quick drop. Throws another out route to the left side's caught. Plows forward. Can't quite get into the end zone. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line is Stephen Bush.
He came super close to the end zone there. This nearly got pushed out of bounds, but if he had an extra step, maybe if the sidelines were just a foot longer, he might have been able to edge his way into the end zone there.
Florida is knocking on the end zone, knocking on the door. Handoff to Doyle, tries to cut outside. Looked like he gained a yard, but then tried to cut it back and just ends up at the line of scrimmage. Kane Vasquez there on the tackle.
Yeah, he tried to get outside, but the Seattle defense stood him up at the line here. You're going to have to be a little bit quicker, try and outrun the Tyrants.
Looks like a running formation. 1 wide receiver out there, Optimus Klein. From the 3-yard line, a handoff to Doyle. Sidesteps, gets in the end zone, 2-yard rushing touchdown, and the Storm are an extra point away from tying this ball game. I'm sorry, the Storm are an extra point away from a 14-point lead.
There you go. Yeah, just something I didn't quite expect to see coming out of the gate is Florida's offense. They hadn't really been super explosive, especially running the ball. They haven't been great, and Doyle has just been able to come up in these key situations, get the first down, and he comes up there and gets the first down after plowing through a guy, or gets a touchdown rather.
Ethan Sneed is on for the extra point. 3rd-round pick, number 50 overall. Extra point is up and good, so a 14-0 lead. Still 5 minutes left in this first quarter. And, Florida's got Seattle on their heels a little bit.
You're right, they do. And I know Seattle, coming into this game, they'd like to get ahead. That's their game plan most of the time. Get ahead, give the ball to Sandlin, let him do his thing. But now we're going to have to see a little bit more of Luyendula, see him step up, throw the ball, get some quick yardage, and try to shorten this game a little bit.
Castle, the return man, out to about the 29. Luyendula is 2 for 4. 1 interception, 18 yards. Sandlin's had 3 carries for 6 yards.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball, but nothing doing so far. Florida's defense has looked great so far.
Sandlin with his 4th carry and runs over 4 guys now. Picks up the first down. What a whopping that run was.
gosh, that was just ridiculous. Zach Sandlin being Zach Sandlin. He went through about 4 guys in this rush alone. There's 1, there's 2. Here comes a third, and just puts him on his back. Another
There was a
one.
fourth. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
there was a fourth. And Alex Dominguez able to make the tackle at the end. And if not for him, Sandlin would have taken it to the house. Just an absolutely unstoppable running back in Seattle has found a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, an exciting player, lightning in a bottle he is. Another handoff to Sandlin. This time breaks out to the right side. Tries to shed a tackle, gets 4 yards.
Even though he couldn't quite break the tackle, he still had the defender on him from the line of scrimmage, and he was able to gain 5 yards off of that. That dude is just an absolute rock. Can't be brought down by anybody.
From their own 48-yard line, Lewandowski is under center. Another handoff to Sandlin, plows forward, tries to get the first down, picks up 4. 1 yard short of the first down.
Yep, and just another strong Sandlin run. And that's what Seattle has been doing. That's their tried and true method, their bread and butter. And it's working really well in this drive so far. Sandlin's just been tearing through everybody. He had 6 yards before this drive. Now he has 24 or 30, about 24 on this drive.
3rd and 1. They need a first down and out routes. It's there, caught by junior senior the third. Picks up just enough for the first down before he runs out of bounds.
And they like to put junior senior. That is his 3rd catch of the game for 22 yards. He's already making an impact. And we'll be looking at him more in the receiving game as they try to make it more dynamic as they're running Sandlin and junior senior on there.
Bunch receivers to the right side for Lewandowski. Sandlin met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Dominguez was there to make the tackle.
And Florida doing the right thing. The right way to tackle Zach Sandlin is not with your whole body, but with your body and another one, because you need 2 people to try to bring him down. They were able to stop him at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, Nicholas Warner, the linebacker, was the second body there to help bring him down. Lewandowski with a deep drop on 2nd and 10, looking over the middle as the ball is knocked down, intended for Mason Kirby.
Looked like Ryan Davidson, no, the strong safety Andrew Francis got his hand on there. Nearly got the 2nd turnover of the game for Florida, but he's just going to force a 2nd down.
Yeah, very, very fortunate that he wasn't able to intercept that one. Had his eyes on it the whole time, was in position. Just couldn't come up with the interception, the turnover. Empty shotgun for Lewandowski, 3 wide receivers to his left. Tristan Carr is also on the left side. Florida brings 3. Lewandowski steps up in the pocket for the crossing route to JS3 as it falls to the grass. Frank Champion, the linebacker, was there on the coverage.
Yep, looks like looks like number 95 was able to get the pressure there on Lewandowski and force the incompletion. We'll see if they go for the punt here or for the field goal. Looks like they go for the punt. Give the ball back to Florida.
Standing on his own, his own 45-yard line. Down, it's a nice punt. Gunner gets to it and fields it, stops it at the 5. Great job by the Tyrants special teams unit.
Oh yeah, and that's why you draft your punter. Marcus Agrippa I'm so sorry. That was Seattle's punter, rather. They just make a great play on special teams, pinning back Florida.
Cochran under center from his own 5, hands off to Doyle, and he gets plastered at the 5, no gain.
Seattle's defensive line putting up a wall, and it's not very easy to run past it, especially when you're Florida. They're trying to get a little bit more space so they're not so close to the end zone, but Seattle is having none of it.
Week 2 signing Ace Finnick made the tackle there. Another handoff to Doyle. Reads the blockers, cuts out to the left side. and works forward for 6. Nice second effort there. Now with 10 yards on 5 carries.
They did a good job there, turning what should have been a loss of 1 to a gain of 6, just bringing the entire Seattle defense with him to do it too.
Florida is coming into this game right now. They're last in the league in rushing yards per game. They're averaging about 23 yards per game, so they like to throw the ball around as Cochran completes this one to the right side to Robert Merrill, who's short of the first down, out to about the 15-yard line.
Markham just a tad bit short. Great tackle there by the Seattle defender to make the stop, and looks like they're going to force a punt.
Good stand by the Tyrants. Florida scored points really quick there early in this game. Florida needs to respond, and they should have good field position now as the Storm's punter, Marcus Agrippa, was standing in his own end zone. Good hang time, 4.5 seconds. Hit immediately on the return was Nick Castle at the Seattle 40-yard line. So that's where Luandula and Zach Sandlin and the Tyrants offense have to come out and start. Sandlin looks strong after that last drive. Like you said, he accounted for, 20-something yards on that last drive alone. Seems like he's getting stronger. He's kind of getting the motor going. We'll see if they continue to feed him the ball. Single back, 3 wide receivers. Sandlin up the middle, wide open hole. Good blocking up front, gets 9 yards.
But yeah, Zach Sandlin is just a complete beast. He's this entire team's offense. Essentially, he's the biggest part of it, at least. And he is able to just come through, get a solid gain every time, and that time it was for 9. It's an almost guaranteed first down.
Yeah, we mentioned on one side of that coin, the Florida Storm's offense is least amount of rushing yards per game. Well, the Seattle offense is the exact opposite with 175 yards rushing a game. As Sandlin tried to break it out to the left side, loses 1.
And you're right, Sandlin is just powering this offense, and that is why they are leading the league in rushing yards per game. Is just because of how much of a workhorse he is and how dominant he has been over in every defense. There's no way to stop him.
Yeah, when it takes 3 guys to bring him down, it makes the defense's job really hard. And oh man, loses his forward progress. Mason Kirby made a juke move and actually comes up short of the first down. Interesting spot. But that's going to do it for the first quarter. We're gonna go to the break. 14-0, Florida up over the Seattle Tyrants. Interesting decision by Mason Kirby there, Ryan.
Yeah, not what you want if you're Seattle, but looks like they're going to go for it here.
Near midfield, I don't think it's the worst decision. We'll see if they're just trying to draw him off sides or if they're actually going to snap it. I think Sandlin's good for a yard.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. I would not be surprised. He is averaging a lot of yards per carry so far, 4.2. So he can get it. We know he can.
Florida being very disciplined. Florida's not falling for it. Seattle takes time out to start the second quarter.
Looks like they've been watching their film, knowing what Seattle was going to bring to the table. Tried to draw him offside. Doesn't quite work. I would have just run the ball anyway. I really think you need to trust Sandlin a little bit more and try not to give the ball over so much. Florida's having control. They have momentum. They just want to run out the clock. And Seattle, they need to take control of this game and make a statement.
That's a good point. Maybe look for a splash play or something off a play action. Tyrants punter Geronimo Coffins is out on the field, standing on his own 34-yard line. Good enough punt, 4.2 second hang time. Robert Merrill is going to get tackled at the 17, so starting inside their own 20-yard line. The whole second quarter to go. Plenty of time. Seattle has used the timeout already, so Florida's got all 3. Cochran under center. It's like a power formation. Yeah, hand off to Doyle up the center, gets 3 yards on the carry. Gamble was there to help tackle. Flynn Shady was there to help tackle. Good group effort there.
Yeah, that linebacker core is not going to let anything through. And Florida actually running the ball a little bit more than I would have expected coming into this. They're trying to open it up a little bit, maybe try to get the box stacked a little bit so you can open up your passing game and try to just torch these cornerbacks.
Second down from the shotgun. Cochran to throw over the middle, off of E.J. Minson's hands. Nice hit there at the end of the play from Slim Shady. It's the second quarter, Ryan, and we haven't introduced the Seattle Tyrants defense. Let's go ahead and do that. Got defensive ends, Jukin, Rukin, Ghibli Dew. Defensive tackles, Ace Finnick and Denzel Maverick. Linebackers, E.K. Vincent and Slim Shady. Cornerbacks, Ray Zor and Iverson Gamble. Safeties, Mitchell, Mahmoud Ajlani, and Kane Vasquez. 3rd and 7, Cochran to throw. Over the middle, diving catch. Gets the first down. And that looked like Steven Bush moves the chains.
Whew, he just threaded that so well, Ron Cochran did. And looks like his receiver just had to lay out for it. Kane Vasquez looking for his 3rd interception of the year. But Steven Bush is able to make the catch.
Yeah, veteran throw. Only a handful of quarterbacks in the league can make that play in that moment. From the Florida 34-yard line, Cochran under center looks to throw to the left side. Oh, good coverage on the out route. Bats it down. That's Pete Mitchell, the safety.
Pete Mitchell getting another pass deflected. It's 4th of the year in his rookie season. He's already making a big impact on the Seattle secondary, looking super strong. And just despite the big plays, the Seattle's look stout.
Weak-eyed Twins. Cochran to throw. Left side, caught. Fumble on the play, but it bounces out of bounds. Lucky bounce for Steven Bush. But he's going to pick up the first down. Had the first down before the fumble. Lucky break for the Florida Storm.
Yeah, if he is about, an extra 2 steps off to the side, and Seattle actually going to challenge this. Maybe they think that he did not catch the ball before he fumbled it.
Crash wants to review the tape. He says, I want to take a look at this thing. It was already a weird play. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, he had to have seen something here.
A little bit of pressure. That looks like a catch. And it looked like it was like a catch.
Oh yeah, it looked like a
But maybe
catch to me.
he's looking for a better spot on the field as well. So the call on the field stands. It was a fumble. And they believe that they had the spot of the ball correct as well. So Seattle now has 1 timeout remaining in that. Losing a timeout on the challenge.
I don't know if I like that challenge personally. It did look like he caught it, had possession. Maybe coach thought his defender had gotten a hand in there beforehand. I don't know.
Doyle gets out to the 49-yard line. 18 yards now.
Yeah, nothing compared to Sandlin, but he's a little bit more dynamic. He's there to just get some small yardage, move the chains, where they can open up their passing game a little bit, and he's able to fit into this role really well, and he's executing pretty well as well.
Yeah, sometimes those 3rd and shorts, getting 3 yards is very valuable to some offenses. Here on 2nd and 6, Cochran throws over the middle, completed for a first down to Steven Bush. And just Mr. Reliable every time. Just, you need a first down, throw it to Steven Bush.
Oh yeah, if he's open, he will catch it, and that was just a great throw as well. Looked like there are 3 white jerseys in the mix, and Steven Bush is still able to come down with it. He had that diving play earlier. He is just a stud. He's gotten 5 seasons in the league. His first season here with Florida, and looks like they've kind of found their rhythm.
And 5 targets, 5 receptions for 50 yards today. As 1 yard carry there on first down.
Pete Mitchell made his 2nd tackle of the day there.
from the Seattle 36-yard line. It's been a good drive so far for the Florida offense. Another handoff to Doyle up the gut. He's going to get 3. Okay, Vincent there to make a tackle.
Running the ball there with Doyle. They're trying to get just a little bit of yardage. Looks like they kind of want to go for maybe a shorter passing play here, get a quick 5 yards, try to get the first down. Must have been why they rushed it on that last play.
3rd and 6, a passing situation. Cochran's alone in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his left. Takes a shot to Minson. Oh, safety jumped the route as Kane Vasquez is going to come away with an interception.
That is his 3rd interception of the year. I called his name earlier. He tried to get a jump, and it's like he just saw this route, saw the ball coming, and was able to make the play. Just this guy's an absolute ball hawk for Seattle.
Yeah, and on a drive that looked like Florida was for sure going to get some points, Vasquez comes in and says no, sir, shuts the door on that. Now Lewandula and his offense start from their own 21-yard line. Sandlin's the lone back, gets it on his little swing pass, picks up a couple before he's brought down. Warner, the linebacker, go ahead.
Yeah, he put him on his back, just made a really good open field tackle, and looks like they're talking as he's going back to the huddle. And Warner made an actual great open field tackle, and looks like the rest of the defense needs to take notes on that.
Yeah, you can't be scared of a big running back like Sandlin. You have to hit him hard every play. You got to wear him down. Otherwise, his mentality, he's just going to run you over. 2nd and 9, a handoff, and he works forward, gets a couple yards on that carry, and he's just loving the contact. He says, "Look, hit me some more. This is fun, isn't it, you guys?" He's just having a great time down there.
Yeah, that's right. And as you said, he'll run over anyone. He runs over a defensive lineman. These guys are 250 pounds, and he just went through them like they're just nothing. Ridiculous.
Oh, that kind of tickled. 3rd and 6 from the Seattle 25. 6.5 minutes left before the half. Lewandula, a deep shot to the right side. Oh, man, plenty of Florida Storm defenders there. Almost intercepted. And Ryan Tobin had a shot at it as well as a couple others.
Yeah, there were 4 defenders got their hands on the ball there for Florida. No one able to pull it up. Ryan Tobin was the last one to touch it. I might need to work on their tip drill a little bit. That was very lucky for Lewandula that it wasn't big.
So a turnover falls flat for the Tyrants, and they go 3 and out. Now they're going to punt the ball away. High snap. Coffin gets the punt away. 1 second hang time. Merrill with a nice spin move. Gets out to the 45-yard line, so that's where we're going to see Ron Cochran and the Storm offense.
That was a pretty nasty spin move there. And if you're Seattle, you got to be a little bit disappointed the offense isn't showing up. Florida has been able to plan very well for their offense, whatever plan they had, and keeping Florida Storm's offense on the field as well has been key to keeping Seattle from scoring.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Cochran throws over the middle, complete. Optimus Klein gets the 1st down. A little bit more.
That was a great catch in some traffic. They did some nice layering there. They layered their routes. Had one guy going deep, one guy going a little bit more shallow. And Klein gets the ball and just makes a great play, able to get upfield for a 1st down.
So already getting closer to plus territory. Maybe 5 more yards or so, and you're pretty much in field goal range. Maybe you're in it right now, depending on how you're feeling about the wind. Cochran dumps this one down to the left side out in the flats. 112 yards on the day. It's been a slow game for both these quarterbacks, each of them with an interception. But 1 pick six, and it's been tough sledding for both offenses trying to get going.
Oh yeah, they haven't been able to. I think it's the run games haven't been terribly dominant, so the defenses can afford to have an extra linebacker playing a little bit of zone, try to stop the pass, and I think that's been limiting both of these offenses from getting going.
Another little check down to the flats out to the left side. Doyle gets a couple more yards, but it's a third and medium. Uh, don't necessarily have to go for an explosive play. I believe you're in field goal range. I believe kicker Ethan Snead can make it from this range. So
Mhm.
just it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go aggressive or conservative here.
I would definitely run the ball. You've been using Doyle all game, get some short yardage, just make that field goal a little bit easier for your kicker.
Cochran back to throw to the right side. Oh, coverage was there, but dumps it in over the head. Oh, and a nice spin move. Gets Robert Merrill down the sideline to the 11-yard line before he's eventually brought down by Kane Vasquez. What a play.
Oh my gosh, that spin move was disgusting. The veteran Merrill just putting some moves on a kid. Oh my gosh, that was just nasty. Now they're in the red zone. Now they're going to look for the end zone, try to make this a 3-score game.
And fast approaching points. I mean, they've been able to move the ball pretty well here today. Aside from an untimely turnover. But here they are again, trying to score some points. From the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Slants thrown over the middle, complete for 9 yards. Couldn't quite get in. Sorry, that was not. The receiver there makes the play.
Oh yeah, I didn't quite catch his name, but they nearly got into the end zone, but Seattle's defense able to hold them, make it a second down. You can get a stop, limit them to the field goal, try to stop the bleeding a little bit, but you cannot allow a touchdown.
Goal line formation for the Tyrants. Hand off to Doyle. Had a little bit of wiggle room, but couldn't quite get there. Picks up maybe a hair.
It looks like he got about half a yard. PK Vincent was able to push him back behind the line of scrimmage. They give him the forward progress. And if they can stop him here, I wouldn't, if I'm Florida, I would go for it, but they can actually stop him, hold them to the field goal.
Florida showing a run. They do hand off to Doyle. Yes, this time. Breaks the tackle, gets in. Second touchdown of the day for Doyle. And that would be his 12th carry for 25 yards now. And just moving the ball, 2.1, a little bit to be desired there. But when you've got the 2 touchdowns and you're getting first downs for your team, it's hard to complain, and it's leading to a big gap on the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, they play that position just a little bit differently than everyone else in the league. And as you'd see in traditional football, you want bigger plays maybe from your running back, get some more dependable 5 yards, but they like to use him in more niche situations, so he gets those solid 4 or 5 yards every time. And these are 2 rushing touchdowns because of those situations where they are so good and they excel in getting the short yardage. They've been able to get the touchdowns from it, and those are actually their first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season came in this game.
And Ethan Snead was good on the extra points. He has the ball on the tee. Interesting fact, the first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season was just right now in this game. Snead kicks it off, fielded at about the 5-yard line by Nick Castle, brought out to the 29-yard line. And that's for Lewandula in this offense. They got to come out and they got to get something going. Sandlin has got 40 yards on 10 carries. Lewandula's about 50% completion right now, but he's got the interception. 16.7 QBR right now. So, I hate to say, man, the passing game looks weak, but I think you got to come out and throw here and try to make up some ground before the half. And it seems that Crash Combs agrees as he sets his quarterback up in the shotgun. Deep throw to the right side. Oh, had a shot at it, but it falls incomplete. Mason Kirby.
Like Ryan Davidson got his hand on it and it bounced off Kirby's helmet about twice. And that is Lewandula's 6th incompletion of the day. He's gone 5 for 6, and that, I gotta think that that's a reason why this offense hasn't been able to get going. Sandlin's looked great, but he at some point something else has got to give. You got to get some more production out of something other than just the run game.
You can't become totally one-dimensional. From the Seattle 29-yard line, 3.5 minutes before the half. Left side, Sandlin. Met in the backfield, but sheds the tackler. Met at the line, and finally gets dropped.
Gosh. Yeah, Alex Dominguez, the veteran, just looked like a stuffed animal bouncing off of Sandlin there. Just nothing there. And then he gets laid out again by Ryan Tobin. It's the Florida defense just putting some hard hits on Sandlin, not letting him get too far.
3rd and 10. Luandula. Oh, Florida brings pressure, but Luandula evades it. Nice pocket presence. Oh, man. The pass falls incomplete. It looked like the throw was there. Just couldn't quite get his mittens on it. Unfortunate end of that drive for the Tyrants.
That was so disappointing. That had the makings of an all-time play there. That duck was just something out of a movie. That was ridiculous, but looks like his receiver just wasn't quite fast enough, didn't lay out quite early enough to able to catch it. So unfortunate drive start from Seattle, and they're going to give the ball back yet again.
Punt is away. It's going to be fielded at about the 40. So that's Seattle's 5th punt of the game so far.
Something else, every drive it looks like that Seattle has had, only one of them has gone over 4 plays.
Bunch of 3 and outs. Yeah, a bunch of 3 and outs. And that's great work out in the stat truck for Cheryl Colston, Tom Rahman, and John Bond. From the Florida 40-yard line, Cochran in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Time to throw. Oh, nice. Drops it in over the secondary. Stephen Bush going to have a big play in the touchdown from the 40 all the way to the end zone, a 60-yard touchdown. And a big lead now for the Florida Storm.
That was a great play. I did not even see that coming. Stephen Bush just beating everyone, making a great catch in traffic. And him and his man, looks like a lineman up there with him. No, that's 88. That's Optimus Klein up there on the field. And he just takes it to the house. Bush looked just unstoppable so far this game.
Florida's looking really strong here right now at home. We said both teams were kind of struggling early, and maybe that this, I kind of said that if, a win here could kind of be that turning point, because these are both very formidable opponents. Anybody would look at a win versus either of these teams as a quality win. So for both of these teams to be 1-2 right now, and Florida coming out looking like they're looking before the half, man, it's looks like they did their homework.
Yeah, I think they did too. Their game plan has been great so far. They opened up the run game early, got Doyle on the ground, and even though he's getting those positive yards, defense, they have to get someone to commit to that. Because of that, they're opening up the secondary, getting some more passing yards, and that potent passing attack from Florida was able to get another quick score there.
Kick is fielded from about the 5. Castle brings it out to the 27. Looking at the stats, both teams kind of struggling on 3rd down. Florida 2 for 5, that's 40%. Seattle 2 for 7, that's 28.6. Florida's got 13 first downs so far. Seattle with 9.
And also interesting, both of these teams, similar drives, both have 5 drives. The only difference is Florida only has 1 punt, and Seattle has 5. Florida has 30 plays, Seattle has 27. Very similar so far in the way they're playing, but Florida's actually the one getting the points on the board.
Luandula on that last play had to roll out, but dumped it down to Sandlin. And Sandlin was able to plow forward and get 4. There is time before the half. Seattle does only have 1 timeout, so it's kind of interesting that they're not hurrying a little bit. They have a lot of field to make up here. 2 minutes and counting, 2:05. Hand off to Sandlin, breaks the tackle, and he's going to get the first. Picks up 6 down to the Seattle 38-yard line. And the 2-minute warning is going to stop the clock, give the teams a chance to huddle up. Florida Storm are leading 28-0 against the Seattle Tyrants here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Had some highlights there, early in the first quarter with that pick 6, man. That was a pretty interesting play to start the game out.
Oh yeah, it was a great play for Florida, and they were able to seize that momentum super early, and they've just been unstoppable ever since.
Sandlin out to the right side. Makes a couple miss and gets 2 yards, up to 50 yards now.
honestly, only 50 yards from Zach Sandlin. I feel like we should be seeing a little bit more out of him, even though he's looked so explosive. He's also been stopped at the line, so he'll either get, 9, 10, 15 yards, or he'll get out 2.
Well, if he holds to his season average, 175, that means he's got 125 yards second half coming up. Oh, nice. Oh, no, pass was incomplete. Thought the receiver was able to come up with it, but it falls incomplete. Smelzer isn't able to complete the reception.
Now, Louis Ndula trying to go deep, trying to
Great
get a
throw.
first down.
Great
Was a
throw.
great throw, that's right, but better defense from the Storm. Andrew Francis on the play, making the stop, forcing an incompletion. Another third down for Seattle. Here they haven't really converted very well. 22 of 7 on the day, and they'll have to do something here. Try to keep the game alive in the second quarter.
From the 39-yard line. Minute 25. Oh, pressure in his face. Lewandula tries to get rid of it. Falls incomplete. Good pressure. Alessandro Tomello.
Like Seattle's gonna have to punt for their 6th time this game, and if I'm Florida, this is perfect. You played defense perfectly. Now you get the ball back. There's about a minute and 3 timeouts left, and you're gonna be able to score here if you want to.
Yeah, you string together the right kind of plays, the right play set, and use your timeouts wisely. Yeah, you can absolutely score some points here. Coffin from the 35. Merrill gets about 2 yards on the return to the 27. 116.
That's
Ron Cochran has 3 timeout.
The 116 is plenty of time for the Florida offense. They've been just unstoppable so far. They had a drive earlier that was just 1 play. I think they can get 1 play off this time.
From the shotgun. Weston in the backfield with Cochran. Weston on the reception. Spins. Stays in bounds though. Gets 7. 2 Tyrants are there to make the tackle.
At this point in the game, when you're in 2 minutes, get a play up the sideline like that, you have to just get out of bounds. Stop the clock. That way we can get another play running. Because if he goes out of bounds, we still have 20 seconds on the clock, but we burned off about 25 of those seconds because he wasn't able to fall out.
And Cochran throws over the middle to Minson to the 47-yard line, and they take their first time out of the half.
Good call, getting some positive yards, and looks like they're just moving the chains again. They make it real methodical. They hit him with this slant, get the passing game going, and I think this is about when Florida is gonna torch the Seattle defense.
Forty seconds from the Florida 47-yard line, first down. What are they going to draw up? Weak eye formation, 3 wide receivers. Look like the nickel from the Tyrants defense. An out route. And that's going to be caught and run out of bounds. Stephen Bush, the go-to guy here this game.
Yeah, 5 seasons in the league. He has that presence to get out of bounds. And he is just having an amazing game so far. Already 7 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown on the game. And we're not even done with the first half.
Still time to go. 2 timeouts for the Storm. Cochran under center, strong eye this time. Back to throw. Another check down to the flats. Oh, met in the backfield. Gets no yards. And the Storm have to hurry up. Weston wasn't able to get anything going on that one. Everybody's set and ready 20 seconds before the half. Cochran steps up, throws to the right side. It's completed. No. Doyle, they said Doyle was out of bounds. Incomplete. And now 4th and 3 from the 46-yard line. Probably going to have to punt.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely want to punt here if you're Alaska. You can't risk giving the ball back at this point. Seattle still has a timeout. They could still maybe score if you get the ball. So you just better punt, get the ball away, and we'll probably see the end of the second quarter here.
And no real reason to go for it on 4th down. Try to pick up a first. Just go ahead. Yeah, try to pin them deep. Hopefully they'll run off the court or the clock and go into half. The returner avoids the return. Oh, and it dies just at the. Oh, pick it up. Oh, he let it roll into the end zone. It was right there. Agrippa with a great punt. And the gunner just miffed on it, had a shot to stop it before it went into the end zone as it slow rose in. And the Tyrants catch a break and get the ball in the 20 with 7 seconds left. They do have a timeout, but I imagine it's only going to amount to one play here.
Every special teams coach in the world right now is hitting themselves because they weren't able to make that stop on the half-inch line.
And an out route thrown and caught down for a 3-yard gain, and that's going to take us into the half. So one-sided, very one-sided here today. I was saying that I thought before the game that this was going to be an interesting matchup. I was really interested to see how Sandlin and the Seattle offense could come in and what they could do against Florida. And Florida just has looked ready. Their defense has stepped up, created a turnover, and their passing game has looked really dominant. And Ryan, how would you recap what you've seen happen so far?
You're exactly right. The Florida defense, the Florida Storm, really, they came in here with a plan. They knew what they wanted to do, had to stop Zach Sandlin, force Seattle to throw the ball a little bit more. And Seattle has not been able to have any answers to the Florida attack. Sandlin has looked good, but not dominant. The passing game is ineffective, and Florida's offense is just stellar as well. Stephen Bush having an awesome day so far. The run game looks great, 2 touchdowns there, and everything's really clicking for Florida, and I imagine we'll see more of the same here in the second half.
I imagine, Seattle has to be kicking themselves. As you see there, this was one of the plays I was wanting to reference, was the Kenny Vasquez interception there. Whenever they generated that turnover, and then they went 3 and out. And there's just been a couple of times where I think, they're probably pretty frustrated with themselves. But you have to go into the locker room at halftime, and you have to reset, and you have to find a new gear. And so, Seattle has the weapons. Unfortunately, their main weapon is a running back, and that's not the most ideal way to make a comeback. But, Luandula definitely has a strong arm. He has weapons. Junior Senior the third, Mason Kirby, a big play guy. He's got Nick Castle and Tristan Carr. These guys can mount a comeback. They just, they got to eliminate the turnovers. And they gotta convert on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's right. And I think you're right about that Vasquez interception. It was a great momentum point. It was a point where Seattle could take the game into their hands, get the offense on the field, get a quick score. After Florida threw an interception, making a mistake, it was really a time to capitalize, and they failed to do that. And they're going to need to do more of that in the second half. Try to capitalize on some mistakes. Anything that Florida gives you, you have to take. They give an inch, you take a mile. That's how it's going to have to be here in the second half, because you're playing catch-up the entire game.
And back on the field in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Robert Merrill returns out to the 31-yard line. Florida is in the red uniforms, red kits, white helmets. Seattle's got the all-white kits on, white helmet, white jersey, white pants. A little bit of teal accent there. From the 31, Cochran in the shotgun, 2 running backs. Checks down to the running back, Weston, who's going to get 2 there. 1 on the reception, E.K. Vincent on the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like he had it, lost his balance a little bit, went back a couple steps, and was able to turn it into what I thought should have been a gain of 3, and it was just a gain of 1. So a little bit disappointing there for Florida, and Seattle's going to look to capitalize on that.
An empty backfield for Cochran in the shotgun. Seattle pressure on the right side, throws to the left, and it's intercepted. Great route recognition by the safety there. Jumps in front of it and steals one away. The cornerback, Iverson Gamble, makes the interception, steals one away from the Storm offense.
Yep, and looks like Cochran there tried to take a gamble on Iverson Gamble, and it did not pay off. And Seattle getting a takeaway, and they're able to start off the second half with a little bit more momentum, try to get this offense down the field. It's just an awesome play for them, and way to go.
Lewandula with a quick drop. Throws very quickly. Gets it to Nick Castle, who's going to get 8 yards.
It's just a nice little out route, and I think they're going to have to rely on the passing game a little bit more here in the second half. Got to get down the field real quickly, get some points quickly, because you need to be cutting into this lead as much as you can. Any opportunity you get the ball, you have to be able to score. Because if you are going to be trailing most of this game, at least here in the third quarter, and you need to get used to that, get ahead of it while you can.
Second to a handoff to Salmon. Nice hole up there. Runs for 3 yards. Moves the chains.
And if you need someone to get the first down, Sandlin has been dependable there, and just getting some easy yardage for him. It's 3 yards, and for Sandlin, that's nothing.
Certainly a formidable foe for any defense. Lewandula drops back, throws to the left side, but man, the defense was there, but was able to drop it in for Tristan Carr, who gets a first down out to the Florida 34-yard line.
Oh yeah, that was a great throw. Tristan Carr making the catch. They haven't gone much to the tight end this season. He's only had 4 receptions for 18 yards, but that was a good catch, and they've gone to him once so far.
Really close to plus territory. You got the Florida 34-yard line. Seattle moving the ball. Sandlin to the right side. Going to drag a couple of defenders and get a couple.
I think at this point you can score. You don't want to take a sack, of course, but you can rely on your kicker. Will definitely get you the make here. He's been almost automatic, 4 or 5 this year, so you know he'll make it. But they need to get the touchdown.
Sandlin in the shotgun with Lewandula. Twins to the left. Streaking down the middle of the field. Oh, pass gets knocked down. Mason Kirby was the intended target. Ryan Tobin's the one that knocked it down.
And Tobin looks like that was his second pass deflection of the game. He's been all over the place, having a phenomenal game. He's looked fantastic as well.
Let's go.
From the 30, 3rd and 6, Lewandula in the shotgun alone. Trips to his right. Good pocket. Oh, the pressure gets there. Moved up just a little bit too much and walked right into the pressure as Alex Dominguez is going to get a sack. And an interesting stat, Alex Dominguez leads the SFL all-time in sacks. That's probably 154 right there. And he's doubled the amount of his nearest competition, which is Quan Hell, which has 76. So Alex Dominguez continuing to push the record. And just thought that was a monster stat. You have double your nearest opponent.
That is ridiculous. Anyone would double the next guy. It's just ridiculous. But Dominguez, he made a great sack there, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Seattle was in field goal range, but that sack took them out of it, and they actually aren't able to get points off of what should have been a scoring drive. And Seattle continues to put up a goose egg.
Yeah, and now look where that also, the sack, and then now that kind of stinks because look where your offense has to start. You're at your own 11. See how Cochran and his offense respond. Throw to the flats to Doyle, who's going to get 9 yards. Or Pete Mitchell knocks him down.
Yeah, you can see here in the passing game, just been night and day. Ron Cochran, 230 yards, has a touchdown, 2 interceptions, but on the other side of the ball, Lewandula has 50 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. So Cochran has really just been key for the Florida offense, getting their passing game going, getting Stephen Bush in the game, and it's shown really well.
And Doyle moves the chains again, one more time. Picks up about 4. And Slyn Shady and Kane Vasquez are there to make the tackle.
Oh yeah, Doyle able to get the positive yardage just about every time. If they go to the ball with him, they know they're going to get a couple at least. That's why they go to him on the short situation, because he's able to get it and get them a fresh set of downs.
Started about their own 10, out to this 26. Oh, thrown over the middle, but I think there's a penalty flag. There is. That's probably going to be pass interference. Stephen Bush was the intended target. And we'll see what R62 has to say. And it does appear to be pass interference on the defense. And Florida will accept that penalty.
Slim Shady making a rare mistake, and that's only the second penalty of the game so far, and it's a costly one. If you're Seattle, I know you're probably frustrated at this point. Offense hasn't been able to do anything. The defense hasn't been able to stop the Florida offense, so they might be getting a little frustrated, but they can't be making silly mistakes like that, because a free first down is very dangerous to give to this Florida offense.
Another handoff to Doyle, and just takes his 2 yards. Shady and Benson, the linebacking duo, brings him down. And I'd like to see, I don't know how to say it. I know your defense is set, but some aggression from the Tyrants side. You gotta cut off Doyle from getting these first downs if you want to get yourself back into it. You got to generate some turnovers, and you gotta stop letting Doyle gut you and get these little dink and dunk yards on you right now. 3rd and 4 after a 2-yard. It'll be 3rd and 4 now after a 2-yard carry by Doyle.
Yeah,
And this is where Seattle's got to step up.
You're exactly right. The defense, they had 2 interceptions. The secondary has been pulling their weight, but the Alaska offense has just been too powerful. They're getting the short yardage, they're getting the passing game. It's dynamic. They're all over the place, and Seattle's just dazed and confused and not having an answer for it.
Yes, great play.
And just as I say it, they're able to come up with the interception. That was Ajalani getting his 3rd of the year, and just right when I spoke too soon.
I thought just off the tip drill, man, just fantastic hands. Ajaloni to get there and create a turnover and time to score.
Right.
This is what you need if you're the Tyrants. You needed to force something right then and there. 4 touchdowns, it's a long way to go, but there's still, you got half a quarter and then the full 4th quarter to go. There's time to get your offense moving.
Exactly right.
Showing a heavy set. Looks like they're going to run to Sandlin. Breaks out to the left side, runs over the edge, and 2 defenders have to drag him down.
And the man that took the first hit there was Mahmoud Ajalani, who just got the pick. Or no, I'm so sorry. That was Evan Carroll taking the hit there, and Sandlin just laying down the wood, just an absolute beast.
He's a big fella. Oh, nice throw to the outside. Senior's gonna his toe drag swag and get the 3rd and 2 down to the Florida 34-yard line. Stops the clock at 5:27.
You need to be playing the ball, not so much for the markers here. On this down, you do need to get it, but they need to be going for big plays as well.
Pressure was coming, but a nice throw by Lewandula is completed down to the 19-yard line. Blue is going to have the reception.
That was the backup, Bodie Blue, backup tight end, making the catch, and they're able to. This is just a really great throw, great catch into double coverage. They're in the red zone for the first time.
This drive has looked really promising for Seattle. Sandlin gets the handoff, nothing doing. Maybe the line of scrimmage at best.
If we're Seattle here, they haven't been to the red zone, so they don't really know what to expect from Florida's defense. They need to try to they need to score here. They absolutely need to.
I formation. A lot of movement on the Florida Storm defense. Lewandula changes the play. And it's a handoff to the right side to Sandlin. Loses the first defender, but can't quite shake the second. Picks up 3.
Yeah, and they saw that run coming from the beginning, had a stacked box. And Sandlin looks like he's grabbing his side going back to the huddle. Could be something to look at later. If they can't get him, he's hurt, then they might not have any offense to fall back on.
Shotgun trips bunch to the left. Sandlin to the right. Lewandula with time to throw. Steps up in the pocket, evades the pressure, throws it away. Smart decision. Tried to wait for somebody to get open, tried to buy himself time, but nothing happening downfield. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal, but they're trying to put the first points of the day up. And they're going to send out kicker Whistle Jones, the rookie.
Whistle Jones, 4 for 5. This is basically a chip shot. He should be able to hit it, and Seattle will finally be able to get their point drop fixed.
Yeah, you can tell this guy's of the Sebastian Janikowski mold. Probably has plenty of leg for this one. 33 yards is good for the Tyrants kickers. They put their first points up on the day. 25-point deficit now. 28-3 lead for the Florida Storm.
That's like putting a Band-Aid on an open wound. It'll help a little bit, but ultimately to solve that, you're gonna need to get some big plays, some bigger bandages.
Yeah, you really need to put up some points here. Defensive stand, a 3-and-out, or another turnover would be really, really huge for the Tyrants. Nice return by Merrill, spins his way out to the 30.
And you're right, the defense just needs to continue to step up here for Seattle. They've gotten 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions this game so far, and they've been doing their part, but just the offense hasn't been able to convert it. So hopefully we can get another 3-and-out, another turnover. Seattle can step up yet again and slow down the powerful Alaska Storm.
Throwing an out route, Cochran does to the left side, complete to Optimus Klein, who's going to have his 4th reception for 54 yards today.
And this score, 28-3, pointed out in chat, looking a little bit familiar. I seem to recall a Super Bowl where a 28-3 deficit was come back by a certain Patriots team.
Mm-hmm. You start talking about lore and unlucky numbers, well, that might be just one, as Cochran complete to Stephen Bush to the 48-yard line. And Bush continues to just move the chains. Perfect on the day, 8 receptions on 8 targets.
Oh yeah, he's had a day, and the Storm fans can thank Stephen Bush for this big lead that they have so far. He's been an absolute monster. Seattle hasn't had an answer for him.
Yeah, and I think J.W. Doyle can give a couple of things to Bush as after the game, because Bush is getting him down there and Doyle's just finishing off the drives. Oh, Cochran, this one was almost intercepted as Mahmoud Ajlani was trying to get another interception on the day.
Now the Seattle team is full of playmakers, so you can never be too safe, especially if you're Cochran at this point. You need to be careful. Just can't make any mistakes like you did in the first half, and gotta just keep your team on the field, that ball pounding, keep the clock running, and get your team out of there.
Great stat work by Rochelle Colston and Tom Rahman. Hand off to Doyle. He's going to get 2 yards on 2nd down out to midfield. Linebacker E.K. Vincent on the play. There's a look at the other linebacker, Slyn Shady. From midfield, 3rd and 8 for Florida Storm. Cochran's alone in the shotgun. Deep shot to the left side is complete to Optimus Klein down to the Seattle 21-yard line. Great play. Iverson Gamble to make the tackle.
And that's their guy, Optimus Klein. He is just an absolute force. He's a veteran. He's been here forever, and he's always going to make these plays. He's just big. He's just a big guy, and making big plays.
Knocking on the SFL red zone. Seattle needs a stop here. Holding the 3 would be phenomenal. A turnover would be fantastic. A lot of movement from the Tyrants defense. Cochran changing the play from the shotgun. A little quick throw to the left side is caught and ran out of bounds. Optimus Klein with another reception.
Klein looks like that was his 5th of the day. 84 yards. Or the 6th of the day rather, for 89 yards, and he has just been great so far. Automatic, and just the passing offense for Florida everywhere across the board. Everyone's getting their receptions, and they're putting some work in on Seattle.
Now at the 16-yard line, showing a run, but they like to throw the ball. Weston in the flats is going to come up a yard short down to the Seattle 12-yard line, pushed out of bounds by Vinson.
Another short 3rd down here. I'm sure they'll run the ball to Doyle. Keep the chains moving, keep the clock running as well. Need to just run out this clock and keep Seattle off the field. Seattle's offense off the field.
Cochran under center. Hand off to Doyle. Can't quite get there. Slyn Shady with a nice tackle.
Like Slyn Shady might have heard me calling it from up here. And they tried to run the ball with Doyle like they have on those short yardage situations. But Slyn Shady was not having any of that. It looks like Florida's going to try to bring this back to a 4-score game.
Ryan, I'm going to put you on the spot here, but I see down in the chat, Immersive Sports Science says, does anyone get an old school XFL vibe with names like Optimus Klein? What's your favorite SFL name? Do you have one? Do you have one off the top of your head?
It's funny because my favorite is actually in this game on the wrong side of the ball is Junior Senior the Third. I think it's just my absolute favorite. I've had it ever since I started watching SFL. I saw him play in the championship last year as well, and I thought that name is hilarious. It's my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite would probably be on Queen City, and it's one of my buddies, but Nacho Sicario is one of my favorite ones. And then another one of my favorites is from Mexico City, Brock Lee is another funny one that I really enjoy. The field goal was made by Ethan Sneed. And so the Storm now have a 31-3 lead as we got way off topic there. And Nick Castle returned out to the 26-yard line.
One more on Seattle as well as number 24, the cornerback, Ray Zor.
Ray Zor, yeah, that's another good one. Sandlin gets the carry to the left side, runs over somebody, and he gets 9 yards. The Seattle 36-yard line.
So Zach Sandlin, being Zach Sandlin, he is known for just running over guys. Even though we're so late in the game, I'm sure Florida's exhausted, but Zach is just getting started, just feasting.
And so with about 10 seconds before the 4th quarter, we'll see if Seattle elects to run a play, maybe try to get a first down to start the 4th quarter. We'll see 3 seconds before the 4th. And they do elect to run a play. Sandlin is going to get the first down, so the Tyrants are going to go into the 4th quarter with a fresh set of downs. Sandlin now up to 76 yards compared to Doyle with 36. Doyle's got the 2 touchdowns. Florida's got a big lead, 31-3 as we go into the 4th quarter. Can the Tyrants close the gap and potentially win this game? We will find out as soon as we break huddle. Lewin Dula is going to be under center I formation. 1 wide receiver out there, Junior Senior the third, the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Sandlin, left side, lowers his shoulder, he breaks free. First down a little bit more, gets about 16 yards on the carry out to the Florida 42-yard line.
Zach Sandlin being Zach Sandlin. Like I said, this man is a beast, and if you try to stop him, you will not succeed. Ajalani just put on his back, and it took another guy downfield and barely brought him down. He would have been off to the races if he would have been able to break that tackle.
Shout out to Mighty RX in the chat. He throws out IB Lurkin, but IB Lurkin is down there on the depth chart. I believe they're one of their backup safeties, but that is a good name, IB Lurkin, especially for a defensive back. Luandula checks down to Sandlin to the right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
Yeah, they're trying to maybe involve him a little bit in the passing game, but Florida's been able to snuff that out all night. His passes not gone for so much so far, just 3 catches, 6 yards, 2 yards per catch.
And Sandlin gets a handoff on second down. He's going to get a couple. Continuing to get Sandlin his carries, 22 carries now on the day for Sandlin.
Seems like just about every matchup we see Sandlin, and he'll get about 30 carries at least if Seattle's not running over the other team, in which case he might get 40. So he's a true workhorse for Seattle. They might be needing to get the passing game a little bit more involved as well.
Yeah, oh man, time to throw, but walks right into the pressure. A big loss on third down, and Dominguez is going to have another sack here today. And a drive killer, just an absolute drive killer.
Yeah, that is one way to kill a team's momentum, is just to sack the quarterback and force them to punt. And Florida is no stranger to that. They have been forcing Seattle to punt all game long. Seattle having so many punts on the day, and on only the 1 field goal, 7 punts.
Interesting decision by Merrill to not fair catch it, but 1 yard gain on the return, but at the Florida 13-yard line.
Yeah.
So if Seattle defense, if they can step up here, they can force the Storm to punt and give their offense a chance to get point.
Yeah, give them some better field position maybe.
Third downs, man. Both teams really struggling on third down. Seattle 3 of 12 for 25%. Florida 3 of 9 for 33%. Both teams really struggling getting first down. 20 for Seattle, 22 for Alaska. Just can't quite convert on third. As a 2-yard gain for Doyle, and Slyn Shady is his old friend there to bring him down.
And I have noticed for both of these teams, their drives, like I said earlier, similar and still similar here in the fourth quarter. Both have 10 drives. Seattle has 55 plays. Florida has 54. And Florida just able to get those big scoring plays when you need them. And Seattle not able to do the same with just the same amount of plays. I'm sure time of possession will be similar, but after this fourth quarter, Florida's just going to be able to run down the clock.
And the running back, Weston, was able to move the chains, stayed in bounds, keeps the clock moving. Florida should not be in any hurry to run plays. They should take their time here. Pump fake from Cochran, complete in a tight, oh no, dropped. Tried to throw into tight coverage, and E.J. Minson, the tight end, drops that one.
Yeah, you definitely need to make that catch. Got to turn the ball over again. But Seattle's defense forcing the incompletion should be good. Setting up here, try to get their team the ball back, but Florida just looks so strong. I don't think even if Seattle gets the ball back, that much will be able to come from it.
8 minutes is a lot of ball game. Heck, a pick six. Remember how that started the game off for Florida? I mean, if Seattle could get a pick six right here, that changed their fortune quite a lot. Oh man, almost called it. As Mahmoud Ajlani was there on the coverage, but a nice reception by E.J. Minson. Moves the chains, gets out to the 45-yard line.
Took a hit for it. E.J. Minson went up for it, jumps up, and he's big 6'5" receiver. And he gets hit right in the stomach as he's coming down. Just a great play for Alaska, and they're going to try to put the nail in the coffin, try to get another touchdown here on this drive.
5 yards from midfield. Florida's coming out a lot in the shotgun here in the second half now. One step drop, thrown over the middle. Oh, E.K. Vincent jumps the route, saw the slant, gets in front of E.J. Minson, and Vincent, the linebacker, turns the ball over for the Seattle Tyrants.
No, that's not confusing at all.
Not at all.
Vincent lines up on Minson, and then Vincent makes the catch. just another turnover. That is the fourth interception for Cochran of the day. But it's Seattle's offense hasn't been able to do anything with these turnovers that Seattle's making.
Luandula has definitely struggled here today as he's going to be sacked again. And Dominguez now with 4. It's going to be 3 sacks for Dominguez. Just absolutely monster day for him. Showing why he's the record holder in the league.
That's exactly right. Big Sexy has the record for a reason. There's no one in the league as good as him at rushing the quarterback. And it's shown here. He's just been able to make these key plays and stop any sense of momentum that Seattle's trying to get forward.
And consistency, too, is the thing. You know, consistently doing it year in and year out for Alex Dominguez has been a big key to why he's got such a big lead out there. Sandlin gets the check down and gets a couple yards. From the 44, they're gonna have to pick up a first down here. Definitely out of field goal range, so they need to get, you know, at least a big chunk of yards here and try to go for it maybe on 4th down. We'll see what they do. Luandula in the shotgun pressure immediately throws it and gets rid of it. Falls incomplete as the pressure was there. So another shot for the Tyrants to get points, or at least threaten to get points, and it falls flat.
And that was the backup defensive tackle Pierre Leon on the pressure, and you're right. Dare I say, I think this is 4-down territory. If you're me, if you're at this point in the game, you need to be trying to take some risks, but Seattle not wanting to commit to that, and they're just going to...
If they had picked up 6 or 7 yards there, I definitely agree, but you know, after the incompletion like that, I think a punt, and with your 3 timeouts, hope that you can generate either a 3-and-out or a turnover. I mean, you know, again, Florida has looked better offensively, but they haven't been necessarily lights out. You've been able to force Cochran to throw turnovers, you know, throw interceptions. So I think in that situation, I agree. Had they picked up positive yards, definitely 4-down territory. Definitely.
But when you have longer than a first down, and even then you're not converting the 10-yard gains that you need, you're right. I think the positive yardage was what they needed.
And so Cochran from the 23-yard line, he's hit as he throws, as Jukin Rukin gets the pressure.
First time calling Jukin Rukin's name today. He has a half sack and some tackles for a loss on the season, but other than that, hasn't been able to make much of a statement. Florida just able to dominate the defense.
Ball at the 23-yard line.
You see there, 8 for 8 for 130 for Stephen Bush. What a day for him. Cochran lines up, doesn't like something, changes the play. Checks down, it's an out route to the right side's caught. And it's going to pick up about 5. Pete Mitchell on coverage.
Yeah, but they hit Stephen Bush yet again, his 9th catch of the game. And he's going to turn out, I think he'll be player of the game if I'm not calling it too early. Don't mean to be too early, but I think Stephen Bush has made the biggest impact so far, and he's just keeping this offense going.
Way too early, Ryan. Way too early. As caught over the middle for the first down. Optimus Klein moves the chains. Big hit by Kane Vasquez, safety.
Optimus Klein making yet another catch, and Seattle hasn't been able to stop this transformer, and he's just plowing through him.
From the 35-yard line, just over 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Florida with a big lead. Quick drop by Cochran, throws to the left side over the middle. Pulled down and falls incomplete. Optimus Klein, tight coverage. Couldn't haul the ball in.
And gloves just not sticky enough for that one. Bounces off his hands. Maybe if he had another even deeper safety, might have been able to make an interception. But nothing, no harm, no foul as the ball just falls to the ground.
2nd and 10. Showing a run. Do hand off to Doyle up the middle, gets nothing going. Slen Shady, a familiar foe in the gap.
Slen Shady, no stranger to making tackles. 9 on the day, and he's already, like I said earlier, top 5 in the league with 36, and he's been a rock for the Seattle defense.
3rd and 10. First down will go a long way into sealing this game for the Storm. We'll see what they do. 3 wide receivers, split back. And they're going to hand off to Doyle, who gets a couple of yards. And Slyn Shady with another tackle. Running back comps. Sandlin, 97, not quite at the century mark, and Doyle's there at 40, but, the 2 touchdowns definitely helps your team on the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, Sandlin, he has his yardage, but he doesn't have any points on the board to show for it. And even though Doyle may not look like the more powerful back, but he has had the bigger impact on this game, and it's been quite shocking that Florida just been able to shut down Seattle all game. So anything they do is just finished.
Yeah, and Florida really stayed true to their identity. Came into the game, averaging 23 yards rushing a game, and here Doyle is again. He's right around 40, and I'm sure the running back Weston only has a couple here or there. So it's definitely, they're staying true to their identity. They didn't change much. They wanted to come out and throw the ball and get Doyle involved where they needed, and that's what they did. They came out today and executed their game plan. From the 18-yard line, Lewandula is in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his right. Pressure from the Storm up the middle. Oh, nice reaching catch by junior senior. The third gets out to the 32-yard line, and the Tyrants are going to hurry up. 3:25 in the 4th. Oh, pressure immediately, but good job by Lewandula to evade the pressure, but gets brought down from behind, loses 6. And number 75 was going to make the play. Lewandula in the hurry up again, checks down to the flats. Oh no, you're going the wrong way. Runs out of bounds, loses yards. Very ineffective. But at least you stopped the clock.
There's Combs, the backup, making the catch. Went back about 4 yards after making the catch. But that's pretty unfortunate. That's not what you want, especially when you're trying to run this hurry up. Every yard counts, and now you're in a really big 3rd and 21 situation rather than being in a 3rd and 14 or manageable.
Very tough 3rd down. Lewandula with time to throw. The Florida Storm brings 5. Oh, nice throw. Junior senior is going to come up just a yard short though. But I think you have to go for it. I think at this point, you just go ahead and go for it and try to move the chain. Sandlin's been good for a yard all game. Just go ahead and line up, hand him the ball, maybe burn a timeout, and then come out and throw the ball, get in a no-huddle offense. So it looks like they are 4th and 1 at the Seattle 42. They need to snap the ball. I would say go for it. Don't try to pull them off sides. Just snap the ball. Very nice. Oh, they don't hand it off, though. Throw an out route to the left side. It's caught. It's the 1st down, but the clock's going to continue to run. Mason Kirby gets the reception. Interesting decision, but I guess they wanted to come out with something a little more pass-friendly. Lewandula checks down to Sandlin to the left side. He's got some room to run. Plows the first defender. Gets 9 yards to this Florida 42. 2-minute offense in full effect. 2:13 to go. Twins to the left. Lewandula checks down to Sandlin to the right. Drags a couple defenders short of the 1st down, 3rd and 1.
Timeout.
It's interesting that they haven't called a timeout, but it's going to go to the minute warning. They'll huddle up on a 3rd and 1 from the 42-yard line. So rapid fire offense there. Got them some yards pretty quick. But they need this 3rd down here. They definitely need this 3rd and 1.
And you were talking so fast on that call there. I thought Seattle's defense, Slyn Shady, might have been back here.
Most syllables in a minute. I'm going to hit that mark. Lewandula to throw to the left side. Out route is caught. Tristan Carr with a big reception down the sideline. Gets pushed out of bounds at the 14.
Shades of Kittle there from Tristan Carr. Just a really good, powerful route, getting to the outside and just not going down easily, just like every tight end dreams of doing.
And looked very effective there. Dragging the defender, and then, with wherewithal to get out of bounds, need to stay on the sidelines, not to try to do too much, but take everything that you can. And the Tyrants are inside the SFL red zone and needing 7 points rather badly. From the 14-yard line, in the shotgun is Lewandula. 3 wide receivers to his right. The Storm have 3 down linemen. They bring 4. Throw to the deep right side to Mason Kirby. Falls incomplete as it was knocked down by the defensive back, Paul.
It's like Alaska might have brought in some of their backups here on the defense, given some of the big guys a rest.
Yeah, long drive late in the game. Subbing guys out as needed. Bunch 3 wide receivers to the right for Lewandula. Looks like a dime 3-2-6 for the Storm. Only rush 3, but Dominguez is able to get pressure and gets the sack. Brought down at the 19. So a big day and a potential Defensive Player of the Week candidate is Alex Dominguez.
That's right. His 4th sack of the game, and his ninth, 9.5, actually, sack of the season. Dominguez is nearly doubling his numbers already.
And that sack leaderboard changing up quickly. Some teams haven't played their Week 4 game yet, so we'll keep an eye on that particular stat category. Lewandula throws over the middle to Mason Kirby as it's knocked down. Good job by the linebacker to step up and bat it down.
Jomiste Mack with the pass deflected there. And nearly had the pick. That would have capped off the game very nicely for Florida. But they're going to give Seattle yet another try.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get his other hand up there to help bring it down. 4th and 15, and they are going to bring the offense out. I like the decision to not settle for the field goal. Go ahead and go for the points. I like it.
Yeah, because you never know what can happen.
Under center, 4 wide receivers spread. Florida rushes 4. Oh no, falls incomplete. Would have been short of the first down anyways. Junior, senior, the 3rd, and that'll be a turnover on downs. The Storm will get the ball at their own 19-yard line.
Yep, and this will just about do it for the game. It finally puts the last nail in the coffin for Seattle. They had a good game. Looks like they tried to. Their defense was great. Got a lot of takeaways, a lot of stops. But the offense just couldn't convert with those takeaways, and Florida was able to capitalize.
1:36 remaining in this game. Handoff up the center for no gain. Loses a yard is Doyle. Jukin Rukin gets the tackle for a loss. And some of you may have noticed that was not Ron Cochran. That was Mike Hatt, number 19, under center for the Storm. As Doyle is going to get another carry. Seattle uses their last timeout.
So Seattle's going to make Alaska convert this first down here, looks like. And see what the backups can string together, see if they might be good enough to get some trades going.
Under center. Hatt has a shot from the 20. 3 wide receivers. Oh, they hand off to Doyle. And nothing going. No timeout. And so 32 seconds on the play clock. About 1:10 left. So there will be some time left. They have to punt.
They're going to have to punt here, give the ball back to Seattle, but they are going to run down the play clock as much as they can. Seattle doesn't have any timeouts left. This shouldn't be too hard for them.
Agrippa is the punter. 2nd round pick, number 34 overall. Had a good punt earlier, 4.5 second hang time. We'll see if this one is 4.6 second hang time. Nice punt. And the returner was Castle, gets to the Seattle 38. So the Tyrants offense will have 40 seconds to try and put up some points here and make this gap a little less wide, I suppose.
Yeah. And Agrippa, the rookie punter, putting it up for 4.6. You usually want it to go up for at least 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. 4.6. That's pretty impressive.
Lewandula from the shotgun throws an out route, caught and falls out of bounds. Mason Kirby, 5 yards on his third reception of the day. I expected a little bit bigger plays from him. It seemed like they were using him in some shorter routes here today. But to me, he's like kind of that sneaky big play guy that they've used in the past. Just kind of quiet ball game. Looked like Florida came out prepared and kind of all over the routes that Seattle seems to be running. As there was again, Mason Kirby was the intended target, but a bunch of Florida Storm defenders were in the area.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I think they could have used all of their receivers a little bit more in this game. Mason Kirby not able to get much going so far. Last season he did make a big impact, 9 touchdowns on the year, and he was just an absolute force. But in this game he's very quiet, just getting some really short gains, and very disappointing.
3rd and 5. Lindula back to throw. Kirby on the out route seems to be successful and gets the first down and gets out of bounds. So a chance to reset for the Tyrants offense.
He was able to just throw himself upfield just a little bit, get past that marker. Good play, and at this point when you're Seattle, you just need to get some good plays together, because you can't come back. You want to get some good tape at least that you can look back on and try to study it and come in next week and try to improve on it.
Check down to Sandlin as he plows forward for a couple. Gonna have to hurry. There's only 15 seconds left. Under center, 4 wide receiver spread. Sandlin stays into block. Deep shot over the middle off the hands of the defender. Junior senior the third was the intended target. Tobin again with his third pass deflection of the day.
8 seconds left. About to close this game out. Florida, they're gonna move to 2-2, and this is pretty unexpected. I expected them to come in undefeated, but they're getting a solid win this week.
There's still a lot of football, simulation football that is, today, Sunday. Oh my goodness. Lindula is sacked. There's a bunch of football remaining here as we're getting going on this Mega Sunday. We're on 3rd or 4th day. I believe there's 2 more games here tonight. So stick around. Keep an eye out in the Discord for when those games are going to be going live. A 31-3 victory against the Seattle. And Florida came out early, Ryan. They kind of set the tone early and didn't really have to do a whole lot in the second half other than protect the lead. Once they got up, it was pretty much they just kind of controlled the throttle, and Seattle just could never respond. But moving to 2-2 for Florida, they got to win some games, string together some wins off of this one, and for Seattle, go back to the drawing board, and there's still time to recover in the season.
And you're right. Florida was able to control this game right out of the gate. Ryan Davidson making a play on one of the first plays of the game, getting an interception, pick 6, and that really set a statement for Florida. They said what kind of game they were going to play. They're going to play tough. They're going to take all their advantages, and Seattle just never had much of an answer for it on offense. They couldn't get much going on today, and Florida's offense, just all they had to do was just keep scoring, and they looked great doing it.
And you called it with about 4 minutes in the 4th quarter, Ryan. But who would you say that your player of the game is?
As I said earlier, Stephen Bush, I think, deserves the player of the game. 9 receptions, 139 yards, and a touchdown. He was just unstoppable. Seattle had no answers as he just torched them all game long. And we'll see who they give it to.
I'd like to give an honorable mention really quick to Alex Dominguez for his 4-sack performance, and J.W. Dole had the 2 touchdowns, but you nailed it right on the head. Stephen Bush was the highlight player of this game all game long. Picked up a bunch of first downs, perfect on the day, 9 receptions on 9 targets for 137 yards and the touchdown, averaging 15 yards a catch, and led his team to a victory. So with that, we're going to close out. I am Stephen Hacker along with Ryan Caudill, and down in the stats truck was Rochelle Colston, Tom Rahman, and John Bond. And thank you guys for being here. We'll see you later on this evening.